10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Welcome to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe!
Hello everyone, I'm Matt, and I'm excited to welcome you to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe. Thank you for listening. My friends and I are going to take you on a boozy odyssey across a universe of drinks and entertaining conversation. Episodes of this podcast will orbit around different themes that you will get to know and love. Want to drink the universe with us? Then please join us for our stellar sips, and we'll do our best to avoid cosmic chugs. One thing's for sure, when you drink the universe, anything is possible. I have some great friends drinking the universe with me today, so why don't we go around real quick and you all take a moment to introduce yourselves.
Howdy do, this is Rob.
I'm Chris.
I'm Siobhan.
Awkward intros out of the way. Sweet. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
Episode 1, who would have thought?
Ooh,
Yeah.
we're finally here.
We made it.
Long road to get here.
Matt, why don't you tell the people what the hell we're doing here today for this first episode?
Drinking?
We are.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would think so.
What is
Yeah.
this beautifully concepted theme?
For this episode, we all picked a drink that we're going to share with each other. We really don't know what anybody else brought to the table to share today, and
My wife knows. She lives with me.
that is...
I will not spoil it.
good.
spoiler alert, Chris and Siobhan are married.
Yep.
So,
That's all I got to say about that.
We ship them.
Oh, that's nice.
Rocket ship.
Oh,
Whoa,
okay.
themed.
Yeah,
okay,
there you go.
well,
Hey,
in that case, in general, we have no idea what anybody else brought, or at least 50% of us don't. Today, we're going to venture out to drink the universe to answer the question, how did we get beer?
Ooh,
so well
Love
done.
yeah.
I love a pun.
Well, you know, if you don't mind, I think I might start.
Ooh,
All right.
So,
excited.
my beer today is called Lunch. It's an India Pale Ale from Maine Beer Company. And I recently was up in Maine, and Siobhan actually had suggested that we stop at Maine Beer Company if it was along our way. So on our way home, we stopped there for lunch, and I
Oh.
bought a bottle of Lunch.
Look at that.
So,
Nice.
so that's how I
On
got beer.
brand.
Does it taste like a ham sandwich?
Can't tell you what it tastes
I
like
really
yet.
hope
I
not.
waited to taste it until we got here.
Crack her open.
So here we go.
Do it.
Let's see.
Oh, that was pretty good.
It's a little one.
Yeah, it was just a teens.
Okay.
There it was. But let's see if we can get some
Yeah.
glugs.
Negative ghost.
Oh, there's a little bit in
a
there.
little bit. A
I
little
feel like
bit.
I would love for no one on the who's actually listening to this to be able to hear it, and we're like so excited, and they're like,
Slight
"I guess something's
gluggage.
happening."
Nice.
Are we passing
So-
it around?
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, I'm gonna pass it. Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
pass the bottle. Pass the
Yeah.
bottle. Go
I'm
ahead.
Like, I'm not sharing.
I was gonna read
These
the
are troubling
description on the back
times.
of the bottle and see if we agree with the description. I like the nose of it. It's got quite a nice scent.
Oh, it smells like lunch.
Sure does.
Ooh, it does smell good, actually.
You know, my wife's grandfather always used to say that there's a sandwich in every can of beer. This is a bottle, so there must be a few sandwiches in this one.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
that's
Yeah,
a
it's-
cute quote.
It's like a whole pint here. The bottle says Lunch is a special whale that has been spotted off the Maine coast since 1982. She has what looks like a bite taken out of her fin, which adds to her unique character. We dedicate this beer to her determination and persistence. Keep on swimming. I love that.
Not what I expected at all.
What a cool
Right?
story.
So
And I-
touched.
I did not read any of that before I got here, so
Yeah.
it's a
How
cool experience. So
fun.
cheers, my
Cheers.
friends.
Yeah.
Let's have our
Clinkums.
first stellar sip of the year.
Hooray.
What do you think?
Stellar sip.
Oh yeah.
I like this quite a bit.
I got to back up for a minute, though, because what I took away from that story was we got a whale named Lunch, and something tried to have lunch for lunch, and that's pretty much where my brain stopped.
Oh.
Yes, there's a very cyclical nature to that.
Yeah.
It's very light.
Well, here's to persistence of lunch.
Yeah,
It's very good.
I definitely think there's got to be more than one type of hop in here because I'm getting quite a multitude of flavors at the moment.
It's pretty floral to me. which is
A little bit.
It's like sticks on your tongue.
There's definitely a lot of flour. A lot of flour.
Yeah.
Smooth finish though, not like a weird bite or
Yeah, not
anything.
not super bitter. It's
Yeah.
not
lovely.
aftertaste
The
on the
bitterness
back
is
end.
kind of in the middle, and it's enveloped by that floral taste, which I think hangs around. But I'm getting citrus up front
Yeah.
Yeah.
and on the nose.
Oh, I think we probably should also mention we are not beer experts.
No.
I just
We
love
we
drinking
drink
beer.
it.
We
yeah.
just know how to consume
I'm like
it.
a
so.
trip advisor for breweries.
Yeah,
because
I like
have
that,
a
yeah.
library degree, letting you all in on that fun time.
Whoa.
And so I love looking for good breweries. So if anyone needs my help,
I
go
feel
on,
like
reach
the
out.
best way to describe us is kind of like you would in a job advertisement. You would need a degree or this many years of experience. We're just all in that this many years of experience category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been drinking for a few years now, I'd say.
Indeed. I'm hoping for my honorary doctorate at some point.
Whoa.
Is really
Yeah.
what
Whoa.
I'm going for here.
But who from?
Oh. TBD. We'll see.
Mhm.
I don't know. Think about that. Some good party school, probably. Like Arizona. You know.
Hey, I'm a Penn Stater. I mean,
Oof.
that speaks for itself.
Mm.
I know.
Oof.
This- This past weekend.
We had a bad loss last weekend. Oh, pulling the curtain back, man. We're dating this.
Meh.
Meh.
There's a lot of bad.
I'm sure
Penn
there
State
might be
games
other
out there.
bad
It's still a
weekends for Penn
mystery.
State. Yeah. Don't worry.
That's fair.
What
Did you
year
try-
is it? Who knows?
Yeah. Did you try any other beer while you were up there?
I did. I did a flight of 4. This one I left off because I wanted to experience it with you guys
Nice.
together. So I tried Little Whaleboat, which was a lighter IPA. I tried Dinner, which is their double IPA.
I think we've had that before. Have we had that before?
I think we may have had this.
And Dinner was a bit abrasive for my palate. It was a little bit too bitter for me, just my opinion. And then I had Wolf's Neck, which was my favorite.
we have a bottle of that.
Out of their IPAs. Yes, I brought you guys a bottle.
Woo.
And then I brought Matt a bottle of Fall, which is their coffee stout, which I thought
Oh,
was also very,
lovely.
very good.
Which
Yeah.
Matt is really excited about.
I've really heard great. I mean, like, I'm from New England, everyone listening. So I know I've heard, of really good beer from up there. So I had to say it. It seemed like it had a cool vibe,
And-
too.
Yeah, the vibe was cool. Dogs allowed outside, and they were super accommodating with the lunch that we ordered there. Not lunch the beer, but lunch the
Lunch
food.
the food,
Yeah, they made us
not lunch the whale.
a delicious like coal fire pizza.
Ooh. Big
Yes,
ups
indeed.
To Maine.
so,
company.
Siobhan, you have checked this in.
Look at that. What did I give it?
You
Uh-oh.
gave it.
Checked it in what app? What are we talking
Untapped.
about?
Untapped.
Oh, Untapped.
Ah.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, hey.
I have not checked it in, but that doesn't mean I haven't had it because
Right,
I have
you
a
forget all the
horrible
time.
memory for
Right.
checking beers in.
So wait, what did I give it?
You gave it a 4.0.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I
You
still-
stand by
you
it.
still enjoy
I
it?
stand
Yeah.
by it
Nice.
for
I think
sure.
I think it's a
There you go.
solid beer. It's a
It
great
is.
beer to kick the season off with.
Of all the friends, there's like 5 or 6 other friends of ours that have had this. All give it like 4 and aboves.
I mean, it's probably got a
So-
really
Yeah.
good rating on there in general.
Yeah. Great beer.
We live in. I mean, I don't live and die by Untapped, but I live closely to Untapped. Whenever I'm kind of trying to choose a beer somewhere, I use it all the time.
I should really get into
Non-spawn.
that. I'm terrible. I never think to. I don't even have the app on my phone
Oh
at the
yeah,
moment,
you need it.
and I don't know. When I drink a beer, I just drink a beer, and then I
Part of why it's great
get another one.
is if you go somewhere and you go, oh man, I've heard of that, and then you can look in the app and be like, oh, I've had that and I hated it, and then you don't spend another $8
that's a
on
fair
a beer
point.
you don't like.
That's a
That's
fair
really
point.
that's really to me the biggest, but also like it's good to choose from
Yeah.
using that.
I do use Untapped, but my problem is I order one. I think it's really great. I order the second one. I'm like, that one was equally as great. And I completely forget to check it.
yeah.
So,
It happens.
or
Yeah,
know,
you're
it'll
caught
just
up in the
dawn on
moment.
me
You're talking
randomly.
with friends and
Live your life.
You know,
It's all good.
but well, anyway, cheers, everybody. That
Thanks.
was
Delish.
a good experience.
Really good starter.
Awesome.
I will say, obviously, first time I ever had it, I would definitely have another one. It's one that I could stand to have multiples of at a time.
Fair.
Yeah. It was easy to drink. 7% for a 7%er, which isn't too crazy, but it is more than your average beer.
Yeah, I mean,
Alcohol level
it's no snooze.
Wasn't bad.
I'm gonna act like it matters and pour some water into my beer glass here, just
Yeah.
to rinse in
Cleanse the
between.
palate. What?
Oh yeah. Like
I said I wouldn't spoil
a beer
it, but I
Mollier.
think we all have to prep for this next one.
Yeah. Now, you were afraid to open this pre-show when we were all like, we're going to open our beer and get ready. You were like,
Yeah, Chris,
no,
why,
we
why,
can't do
why
that.
are you so concerned?
Okay, so this beer has existed in a fridge, not just one fridge, but at least a fridge for the past 12 years. This beer was bottled in 2010, March of 2010. I've been aging it ever since. The original plan for me...
Can I ask, were you aging it on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So a friend of mine got me this 4-pack, and he aged it for a year originally. They live up in Connecticut, and so we didn't see them for a while. And finally, the next time we saw them, he gifted it to me and was like, by the way, this has now been aged for 1 year. And I was like, oh, that's an awesome idea. I'm going to age it. And my goal was to age it for 10 years. But obviously, 2 years ago was not like a really fun year, so I didn't really feel like at its 10-year anniversary it was time to crack this beer open yet. But now this is like such a more perfect reason to crack this beer open that we're going to do it. Now, the problem here is if it didn't age well, it's going to be terrible.
Yep.
Well, I'm
Did
excited.
you say what beer it is?
Oh, boy.
So this is Dogfish Head's Burton Batten, which in it of itself is a 10% beer when it was bottled. So
Pray for
she's
us.
going to pack a punch and may pack more than just a 10% punch. We'll find out. So also it might explode. Like this whole room might
Yep.
be gone.
Get ready.
By the
Well,
time
well,
people
Thank
listen.
you,
We'll
thank
figure
you
it
all
out.
for your
Now,
time. It's been nice knowing
I'll
you.
use my lap as a
Thanks
napkin.
for the
Now,
in case it
listens.
does.
In theory,
I'm glad you enjoyed the Matt and Friends Drink the Universe
Right.
podcast.
Please pay attention
In
and follow
theory-
up for our GoFundMe for our families.
as
Oh,
the
Did not
we're alive.
explode.
as the resident scientist in the room, in theory, the alcohol content should not be able to go up because there is no live yeast cultures with anything to eat within there. So take that to the bank.
So there
Okay.
is
It's
beer.
science.
There is beer out there. Oh no!
Science. That's right, science. Sorry. You
You're
know,
not. You're not.
No, there are beers out there that brewers will purposefully leave that in there so that when it does get bottled, it continues to ferment more.
right?
Forget is Chimay is not one of those, is it?
I'm not-
Yeah,
I'm
you're totally
honestly
right.
not
If
sure.
you don't filter the yeast out, it is possible for them to still live. And if you have some residual sugar in there, they'll eat it and they'll keep driving up that ABV. But usually, once it gets to a certain level of ABV, they'll also die off because they can't.
The good
live
news
under
is it
those
doesn't
conditions.
smell spoiled.
It smells
So
chocolatey.
yeah,
Oh,
it's a very rich beer from what I remember. Like it's
Well-
very powerful in flavor.
just
Siobhan, your face was apprehensive trepidation is the way I would.
That is a great observation.
wow.
I was.
I don't think I've
It
ever
was-
heard you use words that big before. Like, wow, I'm so impressed.
I'm sending them through
Every
osmosis.
once in a
But
while,
I'm
you know.
excited by this because Dogfish Head, like their fresh beers have so much flavor and so much, ingredients that
Yeah, I should have.
you know.
I should have mentioned it's one of my favorite breweries, Dogfish Head, and two of these guys had the privilege to escort me there on my bachelor party.
oh,
We-
that was-
Oh, I
yeah.
do recall.
Which-
you
which-
don't, but
which
I do
was-
recall.
Yeah, I don't remember much,
An
but
adventure.
which was nearly 10 years ago.
Sure was.
It's very interesting. There is a lot
So,
of flavor.
I'm a little
just
nervous
on the
of
nose,
this.
I'm getting a lot of that chocolate, but I am
Right?
also getting kind of like a bourbon-y smell out of it.
Yeah. Well, it is
Was this-
Imperial IPA, right?
Was it aged in
Yeah.
a barrel by chance?
it's oak aged.
It is oak-aged,
It
okay.
originally is oak aged.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
getting. Ooh, I think it's mellowed out quite a bit.
It has
Yeah.
It does not feel
I love this.
punchy.
Wow.
It's very good.
Hey,
Look
success!
at that. I know.
Wow-wee.
Well done.
I do have a second one of these if we really want to dig
I'm
into
good.
it later too.
Wow, it's like so caramely.
Yeah,
It is really caramely. You're
Like,
right.
but
yeah. The
but
the maltiness really kind of
typically,
evened out with this.
I feel like anything over 8.5%, you kind of get that like liquory bite,
Yeah,
like on the back end, and I'm not getting that at
Sometimes-
all.
No, I've had some hefty beers that have been.
I mean,
but
maybe, but they
this
have
for
to be
sure,
sweet
though.
usually to cover it up.
That's true.
and to me, this is really mellow. It's so good.
Siobhan doesn't love it.
I'm not-
No?
It's you know what, guys? I'm not a big caramely fan.
Yeah.
Hey,
really
that's
what it
okay.
is.
That's okay. It's not for
I don't
everybody.
hate it
but
though. I appreciate the
I'm-
try,
I'm
and
digging
it
it a
certainly
lot,
wasn't
yeah.
bad.
We're
This-
going to find
this
parts of the
beer-
universe that we just don't want to
That's
drink.
right.
For sure.
It's
That's
going to
right.
happen.
Yep.
This beer normally is one of those beers where I have to be in the mood for it because it's so strong that like you drink one of them and your palate's like, okay, I'm done. Like
Yeah.
I don't want any more beer.
It's
so you
abrasive
don't.
at
Yeah, you don't
times,
want it all the time. At least for me, I don't want to drink one all the time because I wouldn't want to drink anything else. But this has made it so that I could drink multiple of these without feeling like my tongue is going to
It's definitely
explode.
not that boozy.
No.
No,
for
not
a
at all.
10%.
I'm so impressed. No, I've never had the
that.
patience to age a beer.
Well, it doesn't take much
I'll-
except just not touching it.
Well, when you
Well,
started
yeah,
that
but that's
story,
the thing. Like, I enjoy what I buy usually so much that I'm like, why should I let
Yeah.
this sit? You know,
Yeah.
like I'm just impatient.
If it weren't for my friend saying that he's aged it, like if he just gave it to me and was like, I bought this weekend for you, I probably would have cracked them that weekend, But it was the fact that it had been sitting in his fridge for a year that it was like, oh, this is a cool idea. And
Yeah.
it literally has had a sign in our fridge. So Siobhan and I typically have just tons of beer in our fridge, and whenever we have friends come over, it's like free for all. You can grab
it's
whatever
a
you want.
smorgasbord.
But
it's a great
sure.
place to hang out.
this
is what it is.
4-pack has been shoved all the way in the back of the fridge with a sign on it that says, these are not for you to drink.
Yeah.
Specifically because I was always afraid someone would just like grab one and crack it open and I'd be like, no,
Well,
So-
it was kind of funny because you started telling that story like this has been in my fridge for 12 years. Like, was this actually on purpose?
No,
or-
and it did a move with us. So
Yep.
we moved
That's why he
to
says a fridge because it's
2.5
been
years
in two
ago.
different
So
fridges.
2 different fridges it's lived in.
3, because your friend aged
Yeah,
it
true,
for a year
true. Yes,
Oh, fair.
exactly.
in at
Oh, that's
least
right.
one
Yeah.
refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's math.
That's a
Yeah.
3-fridge
not
beer.
science.
Is there not a math sound?
Look
No,
at
there's
you
not a
go.
math
Right.
sound.
Okay,
you know,
fine.
we'll work on that.
No, I think we're good.
Oh, okay.
I think we're fine.
That's fair.
And you were talking about like beers exploding. Reminds me of a past life experience that I had. Back, I was living with a guy named John in college. We decided we were going to brew our own beer. And there's some contention over whether or not we bottled too soon or had too much yeast in the batch itself. But we had a condo that was about 3 stories, and I was up on the 3rd floor. And I heard a sound that was like a shotgun went off. And those of us in the apartment ran down to the kitchen. And there were these 2 cases of fermenting bottles. They were Sam Adams bottles that were, recapped. And there was just beer all over the floor, just the entire kitchen floor covered in beer. And when we opened the case, there were like glass shards sticking in the cardboard of the case. So we took these out and we were like, well, how pressurized are they? And we took them out into the alley and we started popping the caps on them. The bottle would completely empty. All the beer would come out as soon as the cap came off because there's that much pressure in them.
I feel like every amateur brewer has that story.
I have
'Cause
2.
I've heard that story from you, but I've also had other friends who have done amateur brewing who have
Yeah.
the same story where they're like, we don't know exactly which thing caused it, but all of these bottles exploded on us and we lost a batch of beer and it was very sad.
I had the top come off a 5-gallon fermenter too and
Oh, yeah.
totally cover.
A nice little Old Faithful.
Oh yeah,
Faithful.
it was not old. It was very fresh
fountain
beer,
of beer.
and it was not that faithful. But my grandfather, my dad, and I had done some brewing together. Same thing. Heard a pop, walked around, and the freshly painted white ceiling of our kitchen just had beer all over it.
Oh boy.
Stepmother
Beer
was
showers.
very
Well,
unhappy.
I think we're 2
Yikes.
for 2 so far.
Oh, for sure.
tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can continue the trend.
Well, I feel like mine's an IPA as well. And I only
Okay.
picked this for the name, which is very on brand for me. I
Okay.
feel. So I love a label. And full disclosure, I needed to pick a beer and I went out last night and I went, let me pick a beer. And I went to a place where I could do a mix 6. And so I was looking at all the different labels and all the different names. And I was trying to find one that made sense to have a story. So this one is by Sloop, which is actually one of my favorite breweries for IPAs.
Love the name of that.
Yes.
Sloop.
They're awesome. They're in New Hampshire, also New England. And they have a brewery in New York as well. Funny, which this has nothing to do with my story, but I guess this has a bit to do with they have interns that work for Sloop. And this Open Waters is has to do with their internship, and there's a paid internship. So if anyone needs an internship at a brewery, this is just a plug for them. But the Open Waters name got my attention. I'm just gonna open her up.
I did a much more aggressive pop.
It
to
really
yeah, here we are.
Yeah, we're in can territory now instead of capped bottle.
We are.
In
yes.
case you couldn't tell.
Yep, that's how I roll. And
yeah.
no, it just made me remember a time when I had a panic attack while snorkeling. And
It's a good story.
it's legit. Yeah, I totally did. And
Sensitive husband right there.
yeah, well, I feel really bad for him because we were on our honeymoon when it happened. And I didn't realize that I had anxiety or claustrophobia until I went to go snorkeling for the very first time in Hawaii. And when they bring you into the room, here, let me pour some of this because we don't all need to listen to the story without beer in our hand.
Well,
I'm
I'm very intrigued by this.
Yeah, well, has everybody been snorkeling here?
I've been snorkeling.
Yes.
Right? Well, I know Chris did because he went without me after I had my panic attack.
Matt
Oh,
and I
no.
snorkeled together in Hawaii
We did. True story.
Oh.
Yes, we did.
Well, Chris and
at
I
the ripe
almost
old
did.
age of 15.
Look
Yep.
out. See? Hawaii's a good place to start, apparently, unless you're me. And so they like corral you into this room and they go, all right, here's your gear. Also,
They put on the safety video.
they
yeah.
do. They put the safety video on and they show you all the beautiful animals that you're likely not going to see because there's a riptide and because there's about 87,000 other people also snorkeling with you. So none of the fish that you might have seen in the video will likely show up. But they're also like, hey, by the way, if you see any coral, don't touch it because it'll die. Okay?
I've got a great follow-up
And-
to that, but
And not only will the coral die, you will likely get injured because coral lives on in your body after you get
I have
injured with
permanent
it.
scars on my body from coral.
So see, you are why they warned us all.
Yeah.
Well, so we were in Hanama Bay.
That's where
Yeah,
we
that's
were.
where-
Right, okay.
Everybody.
So-
It's the worst
See-
tourist trap on the planet.
I feel like maybe not the worst one.
Now,
But-
the best Hawaii snorkeling that I've ever done is off the coast of Maui.
That's what I've heard. Well, we've screwed up because we
Yeah, we
did
did.
we did the Hanama Bay. The coral is literally in your face when you
a
get
foot
in the
below
water.
You.
Not even.
I-
yeah.
oh
And
my
then-
God, a
and
foot.
then-
I
and then
wish
the
for a
tide
foot.
goes out,
And then it's
and you're
inside
on
you.
top of it.
I
Yeah. Oh yeah.
didn't move. I didn't move because I'm like, I'm
I was
killing
trying
the
to tread
coral.
water to
Same.
not stand on
Same.
it, and it cut the backs of my hands. Like you can see the scars. Like
I
I just was sliced up because it was razor sharp too.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to kill the coral.
What a
Oh my
great
God.
time this was to enjoy the fresh waters of Hawaii. Like this is
Hey.
what he's even. So I had to. We had swam pretty far out to try and avoid the coral
And
being
to
like
see more.
on your body.
Yeah.
And it was the current was a lot. I can swim, okay? I was a swim team manager, which really means nothing, to be completely honest with you, because I never got in the water one time. But I am swimming. I will very much admit that Chris is a much stronger swimmer than I am. That is very much true. I am swimming. I immediately panic. I'm like, I'm killing all the coral. The coral's going to live inside my body forever. I can't make it back to shore. I'm dying in Hawaii.
You're the first
It
official X-Man,
Yeah. Well,
like
I
in
would-
real life.
Okay, so that would have been awesome. I
Yeah.
needed that in my ear and not swim harder, which is what I got for the situation.
Don't drown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
She
you,
was like-
trying not to.
She's like floundering, and I'm like, you know how to swim.
Nope, forgot. Very
Yeah.
much forgot. I'm like, but there's coral in the swimming space that I need.
To ease the marital tensions, this beer is actually very good.
Good. I
Um,
mean,
I'll just
listen,
throw that out there.
I'm just saying, welcome to why I enjoy beers, because I have crippling anxiety. No, because
Is this a New
it's-
England style?
it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very apparent on my palate.
Oh, okay. It's a good way to describe it. Well, it is delicious.
No, I'm just saying, like
It's light.
New England's have like a very crisp,
Oh, yes.
like
Yeah.
it's like a very
Hazy.
specific
It's got a mouthfeel.
taste.
I like a mouthfeel. It's
Do you now?
I do.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I just saw Open Waters, and I just had to go for it because I had to tell that story.
Well, I like.
I mean,
the
I
story.
survived. I know you're all very
I
grateful
like the
for
story.
that.
I
but
like the beer.
I am
I think
deeply
we're 3 for
enthused.
3 here.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
This is a
agree.
great beer.
I feel like I brought everyone into that story too because you all have
we've all been there.
It's very
Similar-
relatable. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy because like who would have thought that 4 people around the table were all in the same
yeah. And had the
tourist
same
trap and had this
ish.
similar
Yeah.
experience, but
I
years,
also
years
bled
apart.
at Anama Bay. Do they make a T-shirt? I bled.
They should.
I
they
bled at
should.
Hanama Bay,
Yeah.
but it's not for the reason you think.
Oh. You mean
Yeah,
that's what the
okay.
shirt should say?
That was very
I
terrifying.
don't know where that was going. Well, so I had like the panic attack that I had, and then I had to sit on the beach for the rest of the time, which was beautiful. Let's not like I don't want to come across like, oh, I was in Hawaii and it was the worst. It was not. It was fine.
There's worse places to have a panic attack.
Correct. I mean, yes, but
But
then we got
also
in the van
tourism.
to get home,
So
and at least 4 people in the van were like, did anyone else see those turtles? If I could have gotten out of the van and flipped the van over in the middle of the
Yeah.
road, because this woman's like, it was really hard to miss them.
Yeah.
I wanted to die.
We saw
Like,
nothing.
No,
I have. So
I
we
saw
had
the
an
whites of my eyes.
We had an
from
underwater
having the
camera
panic
from
attack.
my brother-in-law, and I was all excited to take pictures. And the pictures we
Dust.
have, it's like just clouds. It's underwater clouds.
I could probably
There's
draw
literally no
a picture
visibility.
of a fish in it and be like, we saw it.
To be fair, a day later, we went to the North Shore, saw a bajillion turtles
Oh, that was cool.
like a foot away from us.
So
it's
it's beautiful, but
Oh wow!
Hey, I
There
just
you go.
realized
Yeah, that's cool.
something.
amazing. Yeah.
We're talking about Anamu Bay. Top picture over on the wall over
Oh.
there. I'll have to post that
Look
on
at
socials after this.
topical we are.
Oh yeah,
Look
that
at
totally
that.
is.
Who would've
Yes,
thought?
that is from
You
the
can almost.
Oh, here's
trip when
Diamond-
Rob
me
and I were
drowning.
both
This is
impaled by
Diamond
coral at
Head.
age 15.
But we climbed Diamond Head. I love
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
that's Diamond Head, and that's Waikiki Beach. That's the North Shore.
Indeed.
Yes, it is.
Also, I think we can close this segment as well with we're going to go back there in like
Oh,
8
yeah.
months.
Well, I'm not going
nice.
snorkeling.
for the
I'm
for the
going.
10 year.
Y'all can go snorkeling.
No
We-
snorkeling.
Yeah, we still have to get our.
I do
our
feel
plane
like-
tickets.
Yeah.
I could go
And slacking.
snorkeling in open water, right? Like
True.
drop
Yeah,
me
you'll be
off a
fine.
boat.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be cool.
When
We'll find somewhere.
Dorothy and I went to Hawaii, Dorothy's my wife. She and I took a cruise there, and we stopped on Maui for a day. And on the way out, it was like the end of May, and they were like, "You're not going to see any of the whales; they're gone," because the whales go down to Hawaii to have their babies and hang out down there before they swim back up to Alaska. So we're taking the boat out to the area where we were going to snorkel, and this mother humpback and her calf just surface out of nowhere. And we followed them around for like 20 minutes. It was the coolest thing ever.
That is cool.
So anyway, Matthew,
Glad someone has a good snorkeling
What?
story.
I do believe
Let's do
we're
it.
3 for 3. Are you going to make it 4 for 4 tonight? What do you think?
I have confidence that there will be another drink. That's where I am right now. So
Oh boy.
I'm going to tell
Nope.
this. I'm going to tell the story before I pull mine
75%
on up
is
here.
passing though.
Ruh-roh.
So.
And perhaps Rutro. So when I was about 19 years old, I ended up down on the Yucatan Peninsula for spring break. Somebody at some point thought bankrolling that operation for 5 days was a good idea. So I ended up staying at a very nice hotel and seeing some really wonderful things and drinking a lot of alcohol for 5 continuous days. During one of those days, the person that I was with and I decided that we were going to go and visit the Great Pyramid of Chichen Itza, El Castillo. And we were going to visit that complex and hang out. It would be a lot of fun. So we were in Cancun. It's a 3-hour bus ride from Cancun to the pyramid, which is not fun when you're hungover. Although we did get to watch the movie Dodgeball completely in Spanish on the bus, which was pretty
That's
amazing.
kind of awesome.
Was Donde está el Biblioteca Pedro in English? In that version, I wonder.
Doubtful.
I was too hungover to notice. I'll be very honest. So about 3/4 of the way there, we stopped at this shopping plaza, and it was all
Would you
kinds
call it
of
like a flea market, maybe?
yeah, flea market.
Upscale?
Yeah, maybe a slight. I mean, medium scale. Medium scale. A lot of local kind of tourist trapdy. Come to the vendors and check stuff out. Well, one of the things that those running the bus tours insisted that you do was visit the mezcal table and have some shots of mezcal. And if you've never had a shot of mezcal, it is tequila.
I love
But the
mezcal.
difference between tequila and mezcal is tequila is made from the blue agave, and mezcal can be made from any type of agave. So it is very tasty. There was some wonderful mezcal out there. And at that point in the stop, it was have a free shot, have a free shot, have a free shot. So I had like 3 or 4 3 shots of mezcal. This seemed like a great idea. Then it was back on the bus. The next thing I know, I am standing at the base of El Castillo looking up a limestone pyramid with a very thin rope that goes straight up these limestone stairs. And off to my right is an ambulance and a little sign that says, "Walk carefully" in English right at the bottom of the pyramid. So I grabbed the rope and up the pyramid I went. And about halfway up, I realized, A, you're not sober. B, you're wearing flip-flops. And C, this is extraordinarily slippery. It is 365 steps from base of pyramid to the top. I got to the top, looked down, and then went, I'm going to hang out here for about 15 minutes, get some fresh air before I attempt to go backwards down the slippery limestone pyramid. So what I brought with me today...
This is a long lead up.
So we have a little mezcal
Yum.
to try here.
So
I gotta
I just
finish
need
my
to
beer.
I need to point this out.
Yep.
We're doing a segment called "How Did We Get Beer?" and you've brought a tequila.
No, he brought a mezcal. Did you not hear his story?
snap.
Well,
God,
okay.
Rob just got schooled.
Hey.
First of
Listen.
all, thank
Do
you,
we have
Siobhan.
Okay. Do we have a schooled? We need one of those.
Oh, hey,
yeah.
we can work on that.
Yep.
We can
Okay.
work on
Good.
that.
Good. Good.
So again, thank you.
You're welcome.
Second of all, the universe is a big place.
Oh, that's fair.
As I said in the intro, you never know what you're going to get.
It's
and-
not called Matt and Friends Drink Beer. I guess you're right. So
Truth,
my
truth.
bad. My
But
bad.
most
How did we
importantly,
mezcal?
Most importantly, I am the host. So if I
Oh,
decide to turn the vehicle,
Dang.
you never quite know where we're going to end up.
Word.
So I will warn everybody that this is good mezcal,
Oh,
decent,
God.
and there is something floating down there
No.
in the bottom.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm not. No, I.
Why does it say Burnett's on it?
it does not say Burnett here.
Vladimir
would you like to-
mezcal?
No. You want to read that for me?
What? Monte Alban.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Regional de Oaxaca. That's what it says.
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
I like that cheese.
That is where
No, that's
mezcal
Oaxaca. Never mind.
originated. That
No,
It's
I was-
Oaxaca. Yeah.
seems like
Yeah,
I've poured
isn't
myself.
there like a Oaxaca cheese? Oaxacan?
I mean,
I do not want the worm. I'm freaked out by this.
Now he's got his snorkeling gear on
I
there.
hate
He's way
that.
down through the bottom.
I don't want to look at it. Just give me a little pour.
If he
I
did
will
I'm
have
gonna
a
pour
panic,
my own.
if he had a panic attack, it
If you
clearly
don't
didn't
pour it
end well.
soon, I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's enough. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta finish this beer, but I'm in a minute.
Oh, just the scent of it makes me feel ill.
Yeah, Rob, are you the same with me, where
much
you're
for the
really
4 for
bad
4.
with mezcal and tequilas?
Yeah. So, quick aside, I once had to clean some vomit up of some friends who had drank tequila on our dry campus at the time, and I could not drink anything that smelled that way for a very long time.
I do not hate this.
I also had a very bad experience in college with tequila. In this case,
Freshman year
very bad.
must have been your
Very
freshman
bad.
year.
After that trip, I didn't drink tequila for many, many years.
Guys, I love
Hit
tequila.
me well, sir.
Guys, I
My-
taste the
that was
worm.
so
I'm not gonna lie.
That might have been a
I
little bit.
taste the worm.
I taste the worm.
No.
So
It's
the faces.
Lord, it's
You
so
better pour some
strong
for
smelling.
yourself.
I did.
Do not. Okay,
I'll
good.
tell you.
So before
There's a
bef-
lovely smokiness before you get to the worminess.
That's the beauty of mezcal, I will say.
right, and I'll give you the smokiness. Like I imagine this would taste really great with ribs, or like some
Pulled
barbacoa
chicken.
tacos. You know,
Yeah,
So if
pulled chicken
anybody would
tacos.
like-
yeah. But I'll tell you,
Ooh.
if anybody would like,
I taste the worm.
it comes with this phenomenal little salt packet here. And if you read
How
the
old is it?
description,
How did we not start with that?
so if you, I'm going to tell you why
Is
we
it
didn't
worm
start with that.
salt?
It actually is worm salt.
Be careful what you wish
You wanted
for,
to
Rob.
taste the worm. You should have just given it to him and then been
That's
like,
the-
it's worm
The
salt.
name of
is-
the episode
That's the
is
twist.
now
There is
Taste
actually-
the worm.
Yep,
Rob.
little ground worm in the salt.
No.
It's great too because you have to listen for 30 minutes before you're like, what in the world is this Taste the Worm title for? And then Welser
Here we
busts it
are.
out.
All right.
I'm
gonna try it.
so at a loss at the moment.
I'm sipping. I don't hate.
I sipped already. Again, if I could get over the worminess of it, I'm in.
It's very smooth.
Yes,
It is.
yes,
I was just
it's
going to
quite
say that. It's
smooth,
very
but-
mild as far as tequila. Like a
It does
Jose
stay.
Cuervo. Oh, yeah. It definitely, it gives you that tequila after
It's
top
got-
of the chest
yeah,
burn.
But it's got that depth. I like it.
It's
I
got a
the
lot of depth.
worminess.
I would put
you know what I'm
that
saying?
on the rocks.
There it is.
What'd you
It-
say?
there
It's a what?
it
It's
is.
right at the
Worminess?
end. It
Oh, I
sits
don't
there
know
at
the
the end.
worminess, guys.
It's like that, like
Earthy.
It's like I've
Maggot.
eaten dirt and shit it out my whole life.
Yeah.
You know?
It's.
that's our first bleep.
No, I think we're good to say that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just
I don't
saying.
think you're
I
good
mean,
to say that in general, but that's
hey.
all right.
Yeah, well.
God.
We've
I-
all
you
been
know-
hanging out together for a very long time. That is definitely not the weirdest thing
The
Rob
thing
has
I
ever
was going to
said.
share when Matt was telling his story was, and man, if that was the only time that Matt made a flip flop choice, that was wrong.
Yeah, true.
He's made many wrong flip flop choices.
True.
No, there
has
is
a
no
sign.
such
Life.
no.
I'll be honest. It's not as bad as I thought it would be,
Right?
but I would not drink this regularly.
Ooh, I would.
I think we're 3.5 out of
I'm
4.
genuinely surprised
if
you
I
said you
had to.
would.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I love
Siobhan
tequila.
loves tequila.
I knew you
I love
loved
tequila and
I didn't-
mezcal.
I
I
like
drink
Okay.
tequila and
I like
soda.
tequila. This is a bit abrasive
I
for
mean,
me.
I definitely need something to cut it. Like, I don't want to drink a shot of this. Like,
And-
I'll drink
Cheers! I literally
some
just did
lime
that.
juice.
I poured some of my
Good call.
seltzer in it.
Yeah, that I would do. Just a little club, something.
I really like Terramana as well, and I think
Love
this
Terramana.
has less of
Rock.
a bite on the front end.
This
when you,
does.
When you drink Terramana, does
Yeah.
it give you the people's elbow?
If you,
I'm
it
very
depends how
sad that
much
I did not
Terramana you
enunciate
drink.
that well.
It's actually very,
But it's
very
the
good.
people's
the
elbow.
people's.
Turn around.
elbow.
Look at the wall behind you.
Oh yeah,
Oh, is he
there's the
back there?
rock.
Yeah,
Can
he
you
is.
smell?
And you're getting the people's eyebrow right from my
mezcal.
my rock picture back there.
The mezcal. La, 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 la.
Oh
Don't
no.
shoot it out your nose.
Don't do it.
You candy ass.
It really burns in the nasal cavity. We're just gonna. That was unpleasant. Thanks, Rob.
This episode brought to you by Black Adam
Hey.
in theaters this Friday.
Dude, you think if we reach out, we can get a spawn like real quick?
I mean, he did
I've already
go to our
seen
high school. Let's be honest about
Yeah,
that.
he did.
3 different YouTube channels that I watch have had Black Adam spawns, so I think we can get hooked up real quick.
I think so too. If you smell what I'm cooking, but
Smell anything after this mezcal. I just can't.
I
It's
thought you
so good.
liked it.
Did I say I wanted to
smell
smell
the
things?
worm.
Okay.
How did we get worm? I don't know which one's the.
Oh man, it's coming off the rails at worm.
You know, I like the mezcal. I'm gonna give that my stellar sip.
Stellar sip.
I'm not sipping that again.
No?
It's not happening. It could have been stellar for you, but it's not stellar for
I
me.
enjoyed.
Should I fish the worm out for you?
Yeah.
Guys, that was a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
great.
Sir,
That
I
was
feel like we
great.
know how we got here now.
How did we get beer?
How do we get beer?
Well, how did we get here to the end?
All right. I know. This was a lot of fun. Can't wait for the next one.
More to come.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to end every episode with a boozy quote. So today's quote comes from famous actor Humphrey Bogart, who once said, "The problem with the world is that everybody is a few drinks behind." Here at Matt and Friends Drink the Universe, we're going to try to help you get caught up. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you prefer to get your podcasts from, like Apple, Amazon, and Google. On social media, like, follow, and press all the buttons for us is Matt and Friends DTU on Facebook and Instagram. That's Matt and Friends DTU. The easiest way to find out all the information you may want about the podcast, including links to all of our social media pages, is to visit mattandfriendsdtu.com. That was mattandfriendsdtu.com. Hello, listeners. We're all here to have fun, but we'd like to take a moment to encourage you to always drink responsibly. Never drink and drive. If you feel that you need help with a substance use problem, please reach out to a substance use counselor or call 1-800-662-4357. Cheers, and thank you for listening.